I scored again. Look at this. No, unfortunately, they're not Mac Pros. They're PowerMac G5s, but still, this looks sick. In the mid 2000s, looking at a lot like this would have cost you multiple $1,000s. Nowadays, yeah, not even close. But anyway, I also got alongside those sweet G5s a PlayStation 3 for some reason. Then an HP laptop, which isn't all that old actually. I mean, surely it's nothing fancy, but it has the newer Intel logos. It can't be that ancient. A Mac Mini, which I don't know if it's an Intel or PowerPC. Then I got those two PCs. This one is massive. I mean, look at this block of a PC. Wow, look at it. It's gigantic. I don't know what processor or anything, but it looks kind of cool. Then this little HP with a Core 2 Duo, I suppose, which, yeah, fair enough. Then also this sweet Apple monitor. This is, I think, a cinema display or something. I'm not sure how they call this. This is the smaller variant. There's also a big 30-inch variant, and those still are fairly good monitors, even though they're pretty old. They should still be good. I've never seen one in person, only on the internet, so that's also sweet. And that's not nearly all. I also got a whole lot of other stuff, which I'll show you briefly. I got all of these monitors with it, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 monitors, plus a ton of cables, and I do mean a ton. All of these, and this is all junk. I sorted through this. Also here's some interesting hardware. Also Apple power supply and Apple, what is this, Airport Express, or how they call it? I don't know. A graphics card, and yeah, but nothing too fancy here. Also a big box of installation media, as you see. But surely enough, this is not all that interesting, so we'll focus on the cool stuff inside. So we got a little badass setup from 2005 here. The Apple monitor and the first PowerMac is up here. So I decided I will first, before I start them up, I'll peek inside, see if there is like some catastrophe that's obvious in there. But I don't think. These were all owned by a company, so they actually did some work with this, which those were meant to do. They are in desperate need of a good clean, but before I do any of cleaning or upgrading or something, I gotta know if they work. You're greeted with a fancy G5 box. I just have to say it, man, this aged so well. I mean, look at it. This is still so freaking cool. I owned years ago a Mac Pro 1.1, like the direct successor to those. The Mac Pro is very similar on the outside, but on the inside it's different. The only similarities are the optic drives up here, and I think that's it. So the PowerMacs introduced this design, and they carried it on until 2010, I think, when eventually in 2013 they replaced it with a crappy trash can Mac Pro, which doesn't exist in my world. I'll just ignore it. Well, this was the beast mode of PowerPC. Now, without further ado, that's enough history. Let's take a look at this first one and take a look at the specs. These do see a massive graphics card in there, which is very good looking. Like, this cannot be the stock card, no way. Not in 1,000 years. Also see 2 hard disks, which is also cool, I guess. And now we can take off this. Where's the RAM on those? It's back here. What? No. I think we really scored on that one. All the RAM slots are populated. Jesus. All right, and here we have the configuration. What? I'm just seeing it right now. No fucking way. This is a quad. This is a quad. I can't believe this. I didn't even notice that. I now own the fastest PowerMac they ever built. There it is, the quad G5. This was a quad core processor in 2005, I think. Yeah, the last of the PowerPC. It went out with a bang. That is it. Now, as cool as the quad is, those have one big issue, and that is the cooling. As far as I know, they have water cooling, and I mean, I don't see any obvious like leaks or anything, but yeah, I've read online that those were like issues that water cooling definitely sometimes leaks on those, so that isn't too good, is it? 6 PowerMac G5s, when do you get that? Probably never again. So anyway, on the inside looks good. Has a hard disk. Well, it has two. It has this beast of a graphics card. What is it? NVIDIA. Yeah, I think we already. I mean, if those are all quads, then I don't know. Then I think I'm very lucky. But that can't be. That can't possibly be. Freaking quad G5. Wow. This can be a collector's item, I'm sure, because this is like the fastest, most desirable power Mac they ever made. So that's one I'm probably not going to get rid of, if it works, of course. So I'll put this back on. And I'll hook up the monitor. Alright, I'm a bit scared, but excited at the same time. Let's press the button. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Well, the beast made a sound. I think that was it though. Oh no, we're not off to a good start really. Oh, well, the fans kept spinning. No, that's good. It is on, and we have a macOS 10 boot screen. Yay! That is good, I suppose. All right, that's looking like Tiger. Oh, I still have to hook up the keyboard. It has an account on it. Crap. It was a company, but then again, why do the company leave their data on computers they sell? I don't know. I never know that. You know, what's not that good is that every time I try to boot up a macOS 10, it kernel panics. So I don't know what that's about, but I mean, it booted up fine before, so there can't be a whole lot wrong with it. Maybe my installation really has a problem, but I tried it with 2 different ones, and I don't know what this is about, but I will declare it working, okay? Alright, next one is up here. Also got a good feeling about that one. I'll spoiler you. The power plug is again the weird one, so this must be a faster one, I suppose. Let's peek inside. Oh yeah! There we have it, another quad! My gosh! And another RAM, like fully populated. Wow, I can't believe this. I think I already can make back my money if I restore those two and would have sold those two easily. Put sorbet leopard on it, and some enthusiasts will love it. Now, I already dedicated myself to keep one and like upgrade it with SSD and you know, do some cool stuff with it, but I don't need 2. So that's good, I guess. Now I have 2 G5 quad. Now let's see if that one works. All right, let's go. Ugh, what was that? Okay, it's gone. Maybe some stuff got stuck in the fan. Okay, so we got no signal on that. I'll try plugging it in on the other port. Maybe that does something. I don't know. I will not get into troubleshooting too much in this testing phase, but maybe a PRAM reset will help it. That's a quick way to test. But yeah, this seems to be alright. I mean, if you ask me, this looks normal. Yeah, no, this doesn't do anything. So this can be a variety of problems. It can be RAM, it can be the graphics card, it can be something completely different. I don't know. That's a shame that the quad doesn't boot. But yeah, we still got a couple of to go, so we'll not lose hope. Okay, next one is up here. Now, I don't think this is a quad because it has a normal power plug. However, it has this weird, like, expansion card here, which looks crazy, and those Ethernet cards. Wow, fully populated. Look at that. Let's check it out. Yep, that looks different now. But again, 2 hard disks. Seems to be the theme with those. And it's it doesn't say it here. Okay. If you see liquid, unplug and consult manual. Ah, this is one with a water cooling then. Yay. Alright. What do we have here then? Almost fully populated. A lot of expansion cards, but this one seems to have the stock video card, this old video card here, as you see. And apparently this has the infamous water cooling. So I don't see any like rust or like signs of water, so I'm just gonna trust it. All right, 3, 2, 1. Keeping it. So that you plug it in as well. But it made a bong, that's very promising. And it shows us a signal. Very nice. Very nice. So that also appears to be working. And it probably has a password, so maybe we can reset it on that one. Yep. It booted up successfully, but again has a password. So I'll try to reset it. Seems to be working though. So I reset the password on this one, but I also peeked into the piston profiler, and it's a dual core 2.5 gigahertz, which is also not bad. And we have, oh yeah, this has serial ATA. So we have two 250 gig Maxsters, so 500 gigabyte in total, and the 9600 Radeon graphics card. So I at least know the specifications. And oh yeah, RAM. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gigabytes of RAM. All right, fine. That's also a good system. PowerMac G5 number 4 is ready. Let's peek inside it. It's probably another dual. From the looks, at least, looks the same. But no, actually not. This one doesn't say the liquid warning shit. Stock graphics card, those upgraded LAN cards, again 2 hard disks, and yeah, also a lot of RAM sticks. So let's see if that one boots. Well, that also seems to be working, at least made a bong. Probably gonna have another Tiger with the company data. Really not a good idea. I mean, it doesn't matter how old your data is and all that. I would never give away a computer like that, especially on these. It's literally so easy to rip out those hard disks if you can't bother like formatting them. But yeah, so that even companies do this. It's not good. Don't do this. Oh, I didn't actually see it this time. It says G5 2.0. So is this like not a dual? Is this like a normal, like, I don't know, single core? Could be. I don't know how many variations they made. I'm just gonna assume that. Now this one has the stock graphics card. Let's open it up. Check it out here. This has no hard disks. That's odd. That's a new thing. Then we have here, oh no, it's actually a dual 2.3. So apparently those also have this weird power plug. Stock graphics card, NVIDIA, probably this one, the 6600. Let's see if that one works. So far, I actually only have one that doesn't work, and I think that can be resolved. So let's see. I don't want to jinx it, you know? PowerMacs really don't let me down on this slot. This one also might have bong. Yes, there it is, signal. So that means it's fully working. It just doesn't have anything to boot off of, but that's a minor thing. Yeah, so there we have it, a dual 2.3. Okay, that's the last one. This one also has the stock graphics card and those upgraded LAN cards. They really wanted speed on the network. Let's open it up. Ah, that's falling apart, oh no. What have we got? A 2.7 gigahertz, so another different configuration. 2 hard disks again, and fully populated RAM slots. Look at that. Wow. And again, fully upgraded, fully loaded. See if that one's working as well. Let's go. All PowerMacs except one are working, and I think this one here we can also fix. It's either RAM, graphics card, or something else. I think we can bring it back. Now that one, see if it boots up too. There it is. Of course it does. All right, finally one that runs Leopard. So far, I'm very happy with this lot. With the PowerMacs, only a 1 down so far. And I think we can bring that one back too. This one has this optical drive mechanism jam, but it's also a minor thing. And all of them need a clean. And all of them need formatting. One needs a hard disk. And yeah, that is the mission for another day. Now let's move on to the other ones. Right, next up, Mac Mini. Now, I don't know anything about it. It says it's a 1.66 Duo, so it's an Intel, that's good. 512 megabytes of RAM, 80 gigabyte hard disk. They also included me, thankfully, the power supply for the Mac Mini. I love how Steve Jobs boasted how small and compact the Mac Mini is, and he didn't really mention that you also need this in order to run it, but you can put that away. That's what he would have said. So it's of course not a problem. To be fair, it's really not a big deal, but I just wanted to make fun of Apple. It doesn't look good. That looks like some sort of fault. I don't know what that's about, but could be anything again. It could be RAM, could be motherboard. I do not know. Next up, our little guy here, the HP. I'll plug it in. They thankfully included the power cable. What is this? This is USB-C, isn't it? I think it is, yeah. It's probably also a detachable one. And how do you power this on, guys? I don't know. I saw a light here. Ah, yes. Your PC needs to be repaired. We have a huge stain here, which I don't know what that is. Maybe a screen issue. So at least it's powering on. It seems to have a screwed up operating system. I don't know what's on here, Windows 10 probably. All right, here we go, PC number 1. This seems to have RAM. Doesn't have any kind of dedicated graphics card, just onboard and no hard disk. So this is pretty bare bones. Shouldn't prevent it from working though. Let's see what we have here. So we got 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is good. Seems to be booting, like posting. Obviously can't boot into anything. But yeah, that's good. That's very good. There it is. It's a compact 6000 Pro Core 2 Quad. Oh, it's nice. It's even a Core 2 Quad. Nice. A Q4 8400. 4 gigabytes of RAM. Guys, this is a guaranteed sell. If you slap in here an SSD, put on Windows 10, people will immediately buy it. Maybe include some Office. It's gonna be out the door. I just managed to completely ignore and not see this power cable here. Fine, it has a power cable too, that's good, nice surprise. Why did they hide it on the inside? Was it so valuable? Yeah! Oh, fucking hell, this thing is heavy. Oh my gosh. I'm not making this up. This is some heavy equipment here. Wow, that's a good fair amount heavier than the G5 PowerMacs, and that says something. Now, this one, well, it looks gigantic, humongous. It probably isn't all that fancy. It's from XP, like it's designed for XP. It's an old system. It's a Celsius. It has a cool design still, and also metal. It, like, you know, like really high quality stuff. Then they have this big ass air vent here. We have a dedicated graphics card I can spot. Can we spot RAM? I don't think this has any RAM. This has no RAM, guys. Ah, it's also a pain in the ass to get through there. I'll boot it up nevertheless, because maybe this has some hidden RAM I don't see, but probably not the case. See, as cool as this is probably not for anybody back home. Yeah, it has no RAM, so it can't display anything, obviously. Man, this makes some noise. Alright, only thing left is the PS3. Now, I don't have a controller, unfortunately, so I hope it can work with a keyboard too, but I only have to know if it posts or not, so that'll be easy to find out. Let's go. Alright, let's go testing the PS3. I suppose that's good. Yep. Now there's no sound on this monitor, just gonna assume it works. But here you go. It's booting up. Yeah, this seems to be reset, I suppose. Which is fine. This also works. Good. So here is all the exciting stuff from the lot. I am very positive about this lot because we only got one PowerMac that doesn't work. We've got the Mac Mini which doesn't work, okay, but the rest is all fine. This just needs a hard disk, this needs RAM, some PowerMac needs a hard disk as well. All of them need reinstallation, and the PlayStation is working too. And unfortunately I can't test this darn monitor because I just don't have a way of plugging it in anywhere, you know. That's Apple for you. Can't even test the freaking monitor. But yeah, it is what it is. So far so good. What will we do from now? I have no idea yet, but got a feeling it's gonna be here. Okay guys, I have some free spare time, so that means I will work on my side project here, which is a big side project actually. Yep, did a little Google research, and apparently those had an external power brick, which I don't have. So that's very unfortunate. Anyway, with that, I know maybe I can order this if it's worth it, I don't know. So yeah guys, I had to record this because I failed a little bit. But what I did is basically I reinstalled Leopard and copied over all the files, all the programs he had, and there were a lot of, like, I already got rid of 2/3, and now I wanted to delete a whole another batch, and I opened it up instead. As you see, like, this is so stupid. But there were like real, like, Logic Pro and like all those Pro software, which yeah isn't really used by anyone anymore that's gonna buy this. As you see, it can't find this and can't find that. But what I keep on here is the Office, the Photoshop, I think that, and the iLife, that makes most sense for people. And this very, you know, pro software stuff I'll just get rid of, because yeah, it's not like a pro is really gonna buy a PowerMac G5 in 2023. You know, that's the reality of things, even though those people on the internet don't want to hear it. That's just the reality. It's like an enthusiast product at this point. And I know it's gonna come up. I just have to sort of the ramble. I have to bring this up that there's this one guy on a YouTube video who says, I do this and I do that on the PowerMac every day and I still use it for this and that. Well, fine. But you just have to know most people don't. So with that out of the way, there it is, or almost completely ready to be cloned. I also deleted the second drive, which is now only empty. I also ran a check on them. They should be okay, which is surprising. But look, there's even virtual PC. You have to try that out later. But yeah, as you see, still a lot to delete and clean it up a bit. Right, so this one is almost ready. This is gonna be my image disk to clone it onto the others. I pulled out all the hard drives out of the PowerMac, so all of them had what I think were their stock hard drives, at least most of them, those ancient Maxter ones. So what I will do, I will check all of them. There's a high possibility that some of them are dead, some of them have issues. So but that's not that big of a deal because I have this box here of hard drives, of new hard drives, as you see. Some of them are 250 and some of them are 500 gigabytes, so that'll be the optimal replacement. I mean, if they're dead, then what can you do? But since they're brand new, I don't think they will be. That'll be the server. Maybe we will one day power it on as a cool side project. There, I fixed it. Test. Maybe we'll power it on like as a side project one day, but this thing is so heavy and like pretty much useless, so maybe it's just gonna stay here for now. This is a 256 gigabyte SSD, which I will put into the quad G5 PowerMac to make it you know, the ultimate kind of PowerMac. This I will take back home. I think this just needs Windows installing and then it should be fixed. I also found this in the lot, which is an old Mac graphics card, judging from the connectors. Like only Apple does it in that style. So that is one which, I don't know, hopefully it works. If it works, I will swap it into that one, which again has no signal. And maybe this has a faulty graphics card, who knows. So if that doesn't do it, I'll try the RAM, but that's like last, unfortunately, because I want to get the working ones done, cleaned, and then I can focus on the one which need more attention, like that one. And yeah, the PS3, that just needs reinstalling really, and then it's good. Maybe test out the drive, because yeah, but I don't have a controller, so that's gonna wait. That will be on the back burner for now. This is a really old XP system, nothing special. That one, I'll just put in probably an SSD and send it on its way, Windows 10, and yeah, that should be also be done. And the Mac Mini and this PowerMac will be last. Okay, a little update from back home. I unboxed all of the hard drives. Those are all brand new 500 gigabyte hard drives, which could be a good upgrade actually, you know, from those clapped out original hard drives which they all had in them. Yeah, that means basically all of them can get a new hard drive as a boot drive at least, except one. Or maybe I'll slap it into the other PC, which I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna test out all of them. Let's see if they're any good. I will also test those because, you know, who knows, those might be damaged from all the moving around and laying around. I don't know. It's also a recertified one. It's not original one or new one. Alright guys, I tested all of those drives. In total we only had 3 with problems. Actually all of them showed up, but these have, you know, faulty sectors, so I will not risk it, just throw them away. But here I have 12 fully working drives. These are brand new, and this is the original disk. So if you remember, we got 6 PowerMacs, which all take 2 hard drives, so that means we have 1 exact hard drive for this one other PC that doesn't have one. Can you make this stuff up? I mean, this is just perfection, guys. It really is perfection. So, ever wanted to know what powerhouse I have here? Well, here you go, an Atom Yay. 2 gigabytes of memory. I don't know what's worse. I don't know. But we're gonna install Windows 10 on here. I think, I don't know about this generation, but I think it's too old for Windows 11, but not that you want to run Windows 11 on 2 gigabytes of RAM anyway. So we're gonna stick with 10 and suffer through that. Well, it looks like my cloning docking station doesn't work with macOS, at least it never did this stuff on Windows drives, so fuck. So I lumped this thing back home to start the cloning process that way and decided, hey, I will just use the SATA, you know, it will have much more speed than USB. Well, it turns out it just hates this drive. I don't know what it does, but with this drive connected, it doesn't boot. I don't know. Look, when the drive is removed, it's back to completely normal again. This is weird. I really think it's a CMOS problem. Okay guys, I think last clip was done 2 weeks ago or something, I don't know. But I finally figured out what this computer had. Well, actually I didn't figure it out, but I fixed it. So as you saw, I just wouldn't boot with 2 hard drives. It didn't make any sense. Well, it turned out if I format the hard drive first, so those, if I format those first, then it will accept it and boot up just fine. So I did that. I formatted one by booting up here the disk utility, and it worked. So hooray! It's not a hardware problem as I started to think. It's actually just a weird Mac problem that, well, it's just a quirk of Macs basically. So I will format all of those just to make sure that it doesn't do this again, and then I can finally copy it. Okay, so the cloning worked first of all, so that is very good. Very nice to see that. So the project for now will be testing if I first of all can successfully clone this to the SSD. I'm gonna use this one. I've never used this Blixen brand. Well, it's one of the million Chinese brands that are out there nowadays, but I mean, it's probably the best option for systems like that. So it should work just fine. However, I've heard and seen videos on YouTube that the G5 PowerMac, some don't like SSDs or like have problems with SSDs. I don't know. So we seem to have good news. First of all, it still boots with the SSD, and it also shows up here with those Chinese letters. I suppose that is the SSD. Well, there's no other drive in here, so that is it, yes. It's finally done. It also took an eternity, 2 hours 15, doesn't matter, just copied as long as the hard drive. But at least I got it copied over without issues. So let's try to boot from it. Don't you tell me that was all for nothing. Don't you tell me that. I waited 2 hours for nothing. Come on. Yeah, no, it's not showing up. So apparently my rumor was right. G5's and SSDs as boot drives, no. But for some reason it works perfect as a secondary drive, which is very, very annoying because that's exactly what you do not want. Okay, I got news for you. I cloned every boot drive for the PowerMacs. They're all down there, the newer Western Digital ones. I also tried the SSD one more time because I thought it was the mistake I made. I didn't format it as Apple partition map. So I did it again, but it still doesn't boot. So apparently G5's and SSDs, they just don't get along. So this one is done now. This has a 500 gig and a 250 gig drive, and it has the 9600 XT. I think this is the one of the weaker G5s. So yeah, this is the first one that's done. Well, not really, I still need to clean it, but technically it's done. It also works really well. And yeah, so we'll now head back to the workshop and get the other ones going. Yeah, also replace the CMOS batteries because I have so many now. Okay, so I'm back here and this is the Quad G5 I'm currently finishing up. I've cleaned it on the outside already. It looks a million times better without all the dust. Now, it has some scratch marks on it, unfortunately. I think they're here, yeah, like this. You can't get those out anymore, but oh well. It looks pretty good now, and I'm currently in the process of cleaning it out, and I'm not going to be deep cleaning any of those. It's just way too much work, but just making sure that it's not filthy like it is now on the inside. And this is like from one PowerMac. Look at that. Here, one PowerMac. This is gonna be very satisfying, but not really to do. Look at that. Okay, here we are. I cleaned all of them. All of them work that you see here. Also labeled them so I know what's what. This is the best one, the Quad with 6 GB of RAM, and that only has 2. That has 2.5, and that one is, I think, the worst. That has only 1 GB. But it works regardless. This is the one without the hard disk. So this is also the one which I will steal out the graphics card for. That one, that is the other Quad, which you saw didn't boot, didn't show a signal. So I will go about troubleshooting it now. I have now fitted a drive where I can boot off of if it decides to. Here is the RAM compartment. I think I'll just put out most of it just to make sure that it's not the RAM. And I have, in case it's the GPU, I have here this. That is for sure a Mac GPU. I don't know why it was included outside of the machine, so maybe this also doesn't work. But I will first try the RAM. If that doesn't work, try this, and if that doesn't work, try that, because that for sure works. So if that one still doesn't work, then we have some other issue which probably won't be fixable. Yes, and this is how much dirt I cleaned out of those. 2 towels full of dirt, and that is the water. Now they look a lot better now with the surface cleaned. And one of them was so bad, I think it was that one, that had like sand inside of it. It looked like it came out of the Sahara Desert. I don't know what they did there, but I got it all out with a vacuum. That looks pretty good. Yeah, it still didn't do a bong. I put 2 RAM sticks in each of the location 1. So on the right side you see 1, 2, 3, 4 labels. I put each in number 1, and it's still the same. So I suppose that is the culprit. So the Quadro is out. This is probably the same as here. Where is it at? Quadro FX 4500. Man, look at this beast. It must have been some real piece of hardware back in the day. So, oh man, I don't have an adapter. I have nothing, so I can screw this idea with using that, which is very, very bad, very unfortunate. Because there's no way I can make a connection and it needs power. There's also no other Molex connector anywhere. Got here some stock Mac card installed. So that'll be its last chance. If it works or not. Hopefully it does, let's cross fingers. Still doesn't do a bong. It did something. It made a beep code. What is he complaining about now? So I googled it and it's a RAM error code. What are the freaking odds that one of those 2 RAM sticks is problematic? I don't know, man. Let's remove the upper one and try it again. Well, now it makes 2 beeps. What the hell? This is an interesting machine. Hey, it is back, guys. We fixed it. Well, I know it is a RAM problem now. So I can thankfully try this other cool graphics card again. But also now I know, yes, the PowerMacs have the most complicated RAM situation in the world. So I need to do it in pairs. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and you get the picture. I didn't know that, so now it's correctly seated, and some of those RAM sticks must have problems. It doesn't make any sense otherwise. So this thing is back in here. It's quite a tight fit. It took me a while of fiddling to get it positioned finally. So, but it's in. Let's hope it stays in. I'm really curious now. Hopefully it works. Hey, hey, hey! That is a good sign. So it was the RAM after all. I'm very glad about that. All right, here it is. Now, what I will do is I will gradually, as I said, put more RAM in until it refuses to do something. Okay guys, update, we're rocking now 6 GB of RAM, and yes, it's also the same Quadro as the other one. So I'm really curious to see what happens when I put in those two, because now I know it has to be one of these two. And if I got it correctly, it only boots with both. So it is either this or nothing, I suppose. So I put in one for now. Let's see what happens. Okay. I got a feeling that this has just had a barf or like a quirk. I don't know. Because what are the odds that exactly this, in exactly the last slot that's missing, isn't working? Like, that's so unlikely. It really, I can't, if I put this in and it stops working, that would be so funny. It's almost not believable. Okay, this doesn't make any freaking sense. All the RAM sticks are back in and it just made a bong. So does that mean it will boot successfully? What the hell? Did this just need a complete reseat of the RAM? I don't know. I'm really curious now if it displays all the 8 GB or if it's still at 6 as it was before, or maybe it's now 7, who knows. This is a real mysterious system, guys. 8, you gotta be 8. So either there's like a janky RAM stick in all of those 8 that sometimes screws up the whole computer, or it just needed a complete reseating of the RAM. I don't know. All I know is it works now. So it's back together and works. Awesome. I still am left with 4 hard drives, which can be used in some of those machines, including that, but I'm lacking those little mounting, like rubber mounting screws. And if I don't have those, the hard drives just end up flying around in there, something I don't want. I'll have a look online, maybe they're not expensive, or I can get like similar ones. And now, the last thing for today is I'll install the SSD inside this PC there and take it back home, because I forgot my Windows 10 install media at home, so great. Found this little plate, which didn't work in a different project. Mounted the SSD to it, found also those cool mounting screws that they included here, which is neat. And now I have SSD and hard drive in here. So that is very good. Let's install that. I think it would be cool to use this in that, but it's probably not gonna work. It's a Mac graphics card. So I'll just leave that alone. Make this into a normal office system or something. It's also nice to have finally one which doesn't weigh 1,000 kilos like that one. So this for once actually looks professional, not super ghetto like usual. So yeah, that's all done. Close it up, forget about it now. And now only left is the Mac Mini, this beast, and yeah, the monitor. And all the other 1,000 monitors. Oh yeah, also have those still, but yeah. Those are like gonna be a gift alongside with the PowerMacs, because they aren't worth anything. Okay, update for you. I have finished all the PowerMacs now, so this is the quad sitting here. I wanted to test out those fancy ass monitors. The problem is they don't seem to work with the PowerMac. First I thought, because I tested that, well, it's broken, but what are the odds that both are broken? So I tested it with first a different one. I thought the graphics card isn't up to the task, but that didn't really make any sense. I mean, those aren't so fancy monitors, but it doesn't seem to do anything. It just doesn't even seem to be on. I don't know. Yeah, I tried now with this collapsed out old PC, but it's not the PC or the Mac's fault. This is apparently a fault of the monitor, which, this is so unfortunate. Look at it. It could be so nice, but oh no, it is dead. This doesn't like turn on the backlight. It doesn't do anything. It sees a signal, but it doesn't do anything. That's very unfortunate, guys. Yeah, no, same on this one. I also tried a combination of the buttons. It doesn't appear to do anything, so I will declare them dead. Very unfortunate. So I have now 3 basically useless screens, including that one. Well, you win, you lose, but that's just so unfortunate because I was looking forward to trying out those, but they don't seem to be working. So yeah, I mean, I've got plenty of others, but those were the coolest. Got an update for you in the Mac Mini here. By the way, if you want to see an in-depth video where David and me disassemble a similar Mac Mini, I don't think it's the exact same, but a very similar one, I'll link the video below. Now, I don't know what this is, if this is a Core 2 Duo or a Core Duo. All I know, I think it's an Intel. I will leave the hard drive for now. It came with 2 GB of RAM, which isn't much. If I remember correctly, this thing does not support more than 3 unless you run the patcher utility, I think, from DOSDude. So I'll just try out a different RAM stick, try to reassemble it like half so it can boot, and see if it boots. And if it does, I'll go ahead with upgrading the SSD. If it doesn't, then we have some sort of motherboard problem, which would be bad, but those aren't really known to go bad, so, well, we'll see. So that should have done it. I guessed correctly. It was the RAM. Now it doesn't boot because probably it's missing some components from the assembly and all that, I don't know. But that's what it didn't do before, so I'll try another RAM stick of the old ones, maybe bring it to 3. Look at that. Actually wants to boot. That's interesting. Okay, never mind. I'll let it boot. Yep, I finally did it. RAM was the problem. Very good. So let me see if I have maybe a 2 GB stick in here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I can bring it up to 3. Okay, found out something not so good actually. This is a Core Duo, meaning it's not even Core 2 Duo, it's the even slower Core Duo 32-bit processor. So yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I mean, at least I fixed it. Doesn't look like it, I know, but I fixed it really. And that's good. But I'll just reinstall probably Leopard on it, or Snow Leopard or something, and call it a day. So this runs Snow Leopard because I'm a nerd like that. I can tell from the wallpaper here. Now I want to reinstall, however, the drive doesn't work. And also I cannot boot up this because it's a Lion disk. And as you know, Core Duo Max, they don't work with Lion. So I went ahead and I still had a Snow Leopard image, and I'm trying to create a bootable USB because this drive doesn't work. So yeah, the hardships you encounter, but yeah. Here we are, guys. I completely reinstalled macOS 10, updated it to 10.6.8. That's the latest it will run because it's a 32-bit processor. You can bring this to Core 2 Duo, as I said. Again, I'll link you the cool video. That was quite interesting to me. Not a lot of people watched it, but I found it really interesting. So if you like this sort of stuff, I can highly recommend, but still, there it is. This little thing runs good. The optical drive doesn't work. Well, that's how it is, I guess. I'll close it up, and I decided I'll just, for shits and giggles, I'll put Windows 10 on this as well. Like stripped down, like modified version of Windows 10, just to see how it runs really. And maybe that would make it more attractive to buy for somebody. This Mac Mini now is fully working. It runs 10.6 and Windows 10, and I made a video about it running Windows 10. So if you like, you can check it out. I'll link it below. But that'll be it for that. I'm glad I fixed it. It's nothing special. It is worth, I think, $50 at the max, but that's better than nothing. So I'm glad I got it running again. I did not replace the CMOS battery. I just did not want to take it apart again. And so I'll just leave it at that, but that's good. Much better than before. All right, mates, update for you. My workshop is a mess as always. But guys, just ignore the mess and listen what I did. I have here sorted through all the CDs that were useful and the ones which are useless. Now those are mostly just driver CDs and stuff which nobody can really use anymore. Here's this whole software suite. I think I'm gonna just give that away for free. And I also have here a whole box of only Apple discs. And I will go on eBay and see how much it will bring. I'm sure this can be useful to some guys. So, there's all sorts of stuff in there. Final Cut Studio, Mac OS, and all sorts of stuff. And also, while I'm at it, I did the same for my Windows stuff. I decided to part with my Windows stuff because yeah, I don't know. I just had it laying around, and I decided, you know what? I'm not doing anything with this. I have nowhere to put it, like to display it. Yeah, let's just get it over with. Now, more importantly, I have already 2 machines sold. So one is this little HP PC. Remember this tiny little HP laptop? That is gone. And also one G5 is gone. Or is it here? This one. That will be shipped to Spain, of all places. I'm gonna make sure to pack this right because I don't want this to be beat up in shipping. I've shipped the G5 before. It's just a whole lot of work, but it should be doable since it's like a square, like a big square. So it's not hard to pack. It's just a lot of work. And yeah, so that'll be the last clip you'll see. Hey, all 6 like this. I mean, it's a very badass look for sure. But yeah, those will go one by one. I made a decision on that. I'm done. I purchased a Chinese power supply for it. I will splice in the power supply. It's just gonna be a project for myself. Just I'm curious if I can do it. This is when I'm playing with this. So still, I don't know when this Chinese power supply will arrive. So it's gonna be a while since that's coming all the way from China. But the only last thing we have to do is get that thing to run. Now this behemoth, I will sell it as a retro PC. I think I'll put Windows 2000 on here and hope that somebody will pick it up. I'm not shipping this motherfucker. This is way too freaking big. Those should be fine. I had that one up for a brief second. That one worked. I'm just gonna suppose the rest work too. If they don't, I'll just throw them away. And the server, well, I've got a video planned for it, but that will be still a little while. But what else can I do with this? Maybe at least make a cool YouTube video if I can get it to work, because I have no idea if it works. So the final bit is this Fujitsu server machine, and I decided I will make a dedicated YouTube video about it just because it's kind of interesting how often we get this workstation server thing. Like, you don't really see those often. This is not just a boring PC as I thought. It's actually more than that. So if you'd like to see more of this, watch the video about it. It's quite interesting on the inside. I haven't really taken a look at it properly the last time. So now when I checked it out, it actually is a neat machine. So yeah, that'll be it, guys, for this video. But the lot, I'm currently in the process of cleaning up a little bit, even though it doesn't look like it, but all that needs to go. This I put up for free. Maybe somebody wants this stuff. If not, I'll just throw it away. So yeah, about the G5s, they're all done. One is gone. This Quad G5, I'll make a video with Adeli Linux probably. That's a distribution for PowerPCs. I am curious, this should run it pretty well, so that will be done on that. And yeah, it's quite of a boring ending to this video, but I got it all figured out. I got all the G5s working. I've got all the computers working. Imagine that. I mean, I started off with a couple of not working and having issues, and I managed to fix all of them. I mean, how awesome is that? I never had a single lot which was that great and I'm really happy with this lot. Just for, you know, a side project, kind of a side hustle, however you want to call it, this was a great opportunity. And yeah, so there's still stuff coming from all of this. There's still content coming, so I'm very curious if I can fix this Apple monitor here. I ordered a Chinese power supply for it, as you know, and maybe we can splice it in, get it working. If I destroy it in the process, whatever, without power supplies, this isn't worth anything, so it's definitely a risk I can take and worth the risk. So yeah, that'll be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this very long video. I quite did. And yeah, hopefully we'll see more of this stuff in the future, but I don't think we'll see ever 6 PowerMac G5s again. That is an opportunity once in a lifetime. So with that said, thank you for watching this video, and see you later.